Hi. Lots of people have been asking how to style a cowlick, i.e. for America or Ronald from Black Butler. I'm going to use my Ronald wig for an example because I've washed it and it needs restyling. Basically, so section off the bit of hair that you want. Always handy to have a reference picture handy. Bearing in mind, cowlicks don't normally come from the centre of their forehead, unless obviously they come from the centre of their forehead because they're magical. So on my Ronald wig, I've obviously cut it beforehand, so I know where my cowlick's going to go. Basically, things that you want to have handy: wig brush to brush your wig, hair grips to pin back things, hairdryer, but you're only going to be using it on very, very cold, because lots of people have said that using a hairdryer on your wig you shouldn't do, but providing you're not stupid and hold it really, well, not silly, or stupid, and hold it really, really close, it won't melt your wig, and if you use it on cold it'll be fine. Got to be glued styling spray. This stuff can be a bit expensive, as me and Cassie know. Cassie's filming, by the way, say hi.
Hi.
As she knows, can be a little bit expensive, but literally, how long have I had this? Like a year and a bit, and it's not even
Since college,
and it's not even like there, and it's been used on God knows how many wigs, so it's definitely worth it. I used this Got to Be Glued spray on my hair anyway, but this stuff as well. I think this one's for about £4, but it varies from shop to shop over here. So, but I can't be asked to go all the way to town to get the cheap one, so I get that one. And also you'll need some pins, as in, if you want to do it, you don't have to, but this is how I pin it to stop the spray going over the rest of my wig. You'll need some pins that you use for sewing, or some, a cocktail stick or something that you can stick into your wig, and some tissues to mask off the area that you don't want to do. So basically, you literally only need, as people always say, you need a tiny, tiny little bit. Also do this in an area that you're not going to be worried about getting spray all over your stuff, because I'm very bad in spray at my laptop. So you don't want to be getting it all over your laptop. So basically just take a tiny little bit of Got to Be, you'll be surprised at how little you actually need. Take up the bit of hair that you want and start at the root, and basically just rub it all the way through. You can take off bits that you don't particularly want. Basically rub it all the way through all the hair that you're doing. Just so it makes it all groups together a bit easier. Take it up towards the top and make it into a point. It depends on what kind of wig fibres you've got as to how easy this will stay up. This wig's quite fluffy, which is why I like it. It does depend on what wig fibres you've got though. Like my other Ronald wig, I've got one that I bought and I don't like it as much as this one. The cowlick goes quite floppy, so sometimes you don't, it all depends on your wig fibre how much you'll need, but like I said, just go and make it as much into a point. If it doesn't go into a point straight away, don't worry, because it will. It takes time, okay? Or the styling hours that we do. Like Cassie's Undertaker wig, we did really, really easily, and everything else was just like, yeah. So, yeah, basically get into the basic shape that you want, and don't worry about, because sometimes cowlicks are literally like that, straight up, which Ronald's kind of is, but you can make them curve over a little bit. I mean, this has got a little bit more hair in than I normally have, so that looks a bit funny though, so I'll put that back up. But you can take off little bits that you don't want, sort of thing, and bring them down, because cowlicks can be they're quite thick or they're quite thin. You just have to look at the character and decide what you want, sort of thing. Then, like I said, bring them up together. That's going to separate now because it hates me. Yeah, and basically bring up the bits that you're going to be spiking. Then what I normally do is I get some tissue and I pin around the whole area that I'm going to be styling. If you're doing a wig that's just got multiple spikes on the fringe, like Cassie's Undertaker wig for an example, you don't really need to mask off any areas if you're, because the rest of Ronald's hair is quite flat apart from the edges. So I don't want to get loads and loads of spray all over the parts of the wig that I don't want. So that's why I mask off like the rest of the area, because I need to style the fringe differently afterwards. Same with if you're doing an America wig, you don't want the whole of your wig probably to be, you know. You can brush it a tiny little bit, you know, to get the fibres to go together. Thing. Might need a little bit more because it dries out. It's handy to have a little bit of paper handy to just spray your spray and put your other things onto. It does take a couple of times to actually do the cowlick, because you need to do the spray, then dry it, then spray it, and then dry it, and then curve it and spray it again, sort of thing. So now you've got the kind of basic shape that you want. Just take a bit of the got to be and like squirt it on a piece of paper. Get it on your finger so it's still wet. Go over the edge, because what it'll do is when it dries it will harden and basically should keep the point straight. And with each, like I said, some wigs are different, and just spray around the edge sort of thing and go up the cowlick to try and get it stand up. Then you spray in the base just a little bit and then rub it with your finger to try and get all the droplets out. And I did say this before, I am not the expert guru on styling of wigs. This is just how I do my own wig, and people have asked how I do it, so this is how I do it. Someone also asked if you style a wig and you do it wrong and you don't like it, can you wash it and will it affect the shape of your wig? Crimson Gara on Tumblr, Eggy, he does a really, really good tutorial on has done a really good tutorial on how to wash your wigs using baby shampoo. It's really, really easy. Basically you just get your wig in a little bit of lukewarm water with some baby shampoo and basically just massage your wig extremely, extremely gently to work out all of the product until it's flat. Put it on your wig head on a plate like this. This is the one I use, a Christmas plate, because I'm awesome. And you leave it to dry overnight, and it will drip, all the water will drip down, and your wig should be dry in the morning. If it's not, just leave it for longer. You know, longer wigs might take longer. And then after that is the best time to brush out all the kinks and everything. So this is kind of taking shape at the moment. So then what you need to do is get your hairdryer on a relatively cool setting. You can put it on cold if you want, but I find, like, my hairdryer's got 3, so it's got cool, slightly warm, and then quite hot. So I put it on slightly warm. And you just put it on a little bit and just hold the wig. Don't do it too close, and just help it to dry. You don't need to do it too much because normally it stays quite well. And obviously you don't put it too close, because otherwise you'll melt the fibres of your wig and end up with a gooey hot mess. There. That's practically dry now. It's still flexible, obviously, so you can then bend it to, if you're doing like America or Ronald, like I am, or whoever else has already got cowlicks. You know, same for Austria. Like, Austria's got quite a curly cowlick, so the way that you would do that is dry. Or there's great big length of hair, because I think Austria's would probably be about this high. Do it however long up you need to do it. Just literally, it will look really stupid, but do it straight up, basically. Then you leave that to dry, and then you do basically what's the same as I do, is just remove a bit of it. Then you take your hair grips. I think you'll probably only need, well, I throw everything all over the floor. You'll probably only need the one. And what you do then is you take your cowlick, and if Cassie zooms in a bit, if you get these little bits here, that there's like a little bit of hair that's just slightly longer, you can cut that afterwards to match the rest of the spike. So you do is you basically take it and you curl it over itself, and it depends on how long your cowlick is, how long you need to curl it over. But basically you curl it over itself, and you use your pin or your hair clip to basically put it on the wig like that. And obviously this is still a little bit tacky, it's still kind of drying, but then all you do is just put tissue around again if you want to. Normally with this I don't bother because I'm going to style the rest of the wig, but it's easier if you just want to mask off the areas. So just do this really quickly, show you. Just mask off the areas. that you don't want particularly. Then take your Got2b spray again and spray the whole of a cowlick, and it will end up feeling like rock, because they do, and have someone's eye out with it, Cass. I've nearly had Cassie's eye out. Well, I think I had quite a few people's eyes out nearly at conventions with this. So, yes, you spray it, and also you might have your own eye out if you're unlucky, if you're doing fringe ones. But basically, you spray the whole of the cowlick, and you can smooth it out or whatever. If you get bits that are sticking out, don't worry about it too much. If you don't want them there, if you've got a lot of hair on your wig, you can pull it down, and or if you pull it out, it's wobbling, isn't it? Then don't worry, because my hair's got wig's got quite a lot of hair, so I tend to pull them out if they're too short or whatever. But because I've restyled this wig so many times, there's a lot of room for the all the hair's the same length normally. So then you take your hairdryer again and just blow dry it that way. And just move it as you do it to whatever shape you want. You might have to do it a few times to get it exactly how you want it. And then you can choose to leave it like that for, I don't know, half an hour or something to dry properly if you want it to. But then I'll just do it for the sake of showing you. You take your pin out, and when you take it off, it will be literally curved over to the top of the wig, because it would have set like that. But then all you have to do is just pull it into the shape that you want, and or you can go back and try and style it again. So as you can see here, it's all curved all the way over, sort of thing. So all you do is you just give it a gentle tug and it will stand up. The top of it, if it's curving over too much, I mean, this is still a little bit damp from the wig thing, so you can basically just pull it. If you pull it gently, you won't damage your wig. And yeah, get it to stand up like that sort of thing, and that's pretty much how Ronald's is. If it's a little bit wavy, don't worry about that too much. Like I said, you can go back and edit it. Mine's obviously got a little bit that needs still doing at the top here. And you can do the thickness of the cowlick however thick you want to do it. But always have reference pictures handy, because they're an extreme help. And actually, if you find a cosplayer that you really, really like their wig, take their photo for reference, because it definitely helps in how they've styled their wigs. But yeah, basically, and then it will end up like that. And then you can just trim off the top bit. I'll trim off that top bit after. Also, think about cutting. If you're going to cut, don't cut straight across. Cut at a diagonal. So for this cowlick, I would cut like that. Following the way that the hair's going, and I would cut like that, and then I would put a bit of Got2b on the end to just secure it. Don't ever cut straight down, straight across, because it's disastrous, as I found out with wigs trying to put layers in them. If you can buy a wig that's got layers, if your character's got layers, like as you can kind of see with Ronald, he's got little spiky bits, little flicks, and this great big huge fringe bit, because he's awkward like that. Don't ever, if you can get a wig with layers, get a wig with layers. If your character's got them, obviously got lots of spikes, get a nice layered one. If not, look around for tutorials on how to cut hair, but never, it is literally trial and error. I mean, I don't tend to cut a lot of my wigs because the first one I ever did went a bit disastrous. I cut fringes and spikes and things because that's quite easy, but actually layering a long wig to short, Crimson Gara again, he does a really good tutorial, or can actually style your wigs for you if you want. But yeah, basically that's how you do it, and it'll be a bit bouncy obviously, and these are actually really, really good. I mean, I take these away in their wig boxes and they tend to bounce right back up. If you want it to come forward a little bit more, just hold it, spray it from the back, and it will push it a little bit more forward sort of thing, or just mould it with your hands and you should be able to get it to the shape that you want. And yeah, that's basically how you style wigs. or cowlicks. Yay!